Now back in open session, item number 3 on the agenda is a recognition and comments from employees or the public. I think first we have is parents supporting junior high soccer startup. I don't know who wants to speak, or if there's more than one, you need to state your name and tell Lisa.
I'm Becky Hawes. I live at 36 Highland North. And Mr. Smith, our backdoor neighbors.
Yeah. Do we make too much noise for you?
We're
Pretty quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here to represent the parents of junior high age kids. We would like to ask you guys to include soccer as a school sport. If you guys, there's probably lots of you that have connections to kids that are out there on the soccer fields on Saturdays. We have fall soccer recreational, we have spring soccer recreational, and we're having numbers of about 250 kids. So those are kids starting at the age of 5 or 6, and they're playing soccer all the way on up. 7-8 years ago, high school soccer was started. I think 8 years for the boys, 7 years for the girls. And that program is going, it's going well. I brought high school soccer coach with me here tonight. But there's a little piece kind of missing between the recreational that the community is doing and then the high school. There's this little junior high component that's really missing right now. And there's a lot of kids out there that want to be included, that want to play their sport that they like. Maybe soccer's not your sport, it's not even my sport really. But there's a lot of kids in our community that do like soccer. I'm representing the soccer parents because I have kids that are in 4th, 6th, and 7th grades, and they do all play soccer. And as I've been sitting around the soccer fields with parents for these last several years, there's a lot of parents that don't realize that we don't have junior high soccer. There's a lot of parents who, as we're out there on the soccer fields, they think that's just the natural progression. And so as they find out, oh no, we don't have junior high soccer, they're kind of saying, well gosh, why not? So I have been working, me and several parents, not just myself, with the Massac Recreational Soccer Association. And Troy Lawrence is here to represent the president of that. And Tim, he's the high school coach, Tim Lawson. And we have all been discussing how could we make this happen. And we know that money's always a big issue. And so they are here to give you a plan. It's a really cool plan that does not cost the school district. And so that's going to give these kids an opportunity to play the sport they love. It's not a question of can we form a 7th and 8th grade soccer team. Those kids are there. They're ready to play. They're going to play this year. It may just be recreational on a small scale, or you guys can maybe give them a better opportunity to be able to play.
Okay, can I ask you a couple questions before the plan? So we're in IESA or the Southern Illinois Junior High School Association. Arthur, which is
SIJHSA.
So what is their soccer at junior high? What do they do? What are their seasons and stuff?
As far as I know, they do not have a state tournament that they have with schools in Southern Illinois, much like you see in basketball or baseball.
So it's
But
not
I
a
don't-
sanctioned thing.
Right, but I don't think they wouldn't keep you from doing it. I think I haven't studied this very much. I've talked to Coach Lawson about it.
These guys have that
Yeah,
as part of
I think
what
that
we're gonna do.
more of an attraction is being able to play schools that may not be in our state because they only play against teams that are sanctioned by schools.
Do we know how many local schools do this at the junior high level without
In Illinois?
in Southern Illinois? Are there some?
I don't know.
People do what?
That's a part of our presentation.
Okay.
Just
Okay, well, I will.
Just to clarify, what you were mentioning, there's really not a rec league for the 7th and 8th grade age students. Is that
Well,
correct, or?
we have been servicing them, yes, on a smaller scale for
Okay.
that age.
Okay.
And so, yeah,
You know,
I'm
I
gonna,
didn't know, okay, all right.
I'm gonna turn it over to Tim Lawson, and he'll hopefully clarify some details, and, yeah, we'll certainly answer questions.
All right, I think we'll answer some.
Thank you guys for talking to us. My name is Tim Lawson. They asked me to come and kind of talk. I am employed by you guys. I'm the past high school boys coach. I serve many roles in soccer. I've been involved in soccer here since 2001. I'll talk a little bit about that. But we're just a volunteer group. We just want to find and do what's best for the kids, our community, and our school. Troy Lawrence is here with me. He's the president of the league. I'm involved. I'm on the board with the Recreational League and still yet involved in that. I take this as an honor and also a responsibility to address this question. This parent group came and asked us about why don't we have this, and I'll touch on that stuff. In 2009, we came here, myself, Troy, and Tim Bellamy, to make a presentation about high school soccer at the high school. And we've had tremendous success in those 8 years. We've grown it, and these kids have really enjoyed it. Not only has it been a blessing to the kids at our community, but at the school, but it's been a blessing to our community and to the whole society here. The kids at the junior high, I'm here to talk to you about the junior high. The kids want it, the parents want it, and we've been a positive addition at the high school program for many different parts of the community. The junior high kids want to not only represent Massac County when they're playing, but they also want to represent our school, and they also want to represent our community. Right now, they're just playing as a county as a recreational. Out of that 250 kids, we have 250 kids playing recreational, but we have many other kids involved in soccer that you don't really know about. We have kids playing in the Olympic Development Program for Massac County currently. We've got kids playing on competitive teams that travel all around. So there's many different facets, many different layers of soccer that's going on in Massac County. Let me give you a quick history. When we started research in 2001, I was involved, and when we started research for the high school program. Tillman celebrated their 20th year of soccer at that time. Present time, we've had soccer at the high school program for 8 years. Tillman is celebrating their 31 years. Region 1, Region 2, they asked me to do research on this in 2012, 2013. I did research on it. Middle school in Western Kentucky has been going on since the early 70s. It's greater than 25 years old. I was asked to do this research. Massac was invited to participate in Region 1, Region 2. They were playing District 1 at that time. And Kentucky high school athletics had a very limited role in middle school soccer and still has a limited role. Basically, they have a very limited role, and they give most of the power to the regional and to the local level. And we'll touch on that if y'all have questions. At that time, during that time, we were going to approach the board with this data. And we decided, for different reasons, we were going to hold that data and until we got other parents that were involved and our kid numbers kept on telling us that we needed a junior high program, and for other reasons also. So we continued to further do research, and we also, there was a question about the Illinois Junior Scholastic. We did a study on that, so we can present that to you. Massac County decided to hold that, and we continue to talk to other leagues that was in surrounding area like Harrisburg, Marion, and Jonesboro, and things of that nature. Out of that, this momentum gave rise to what we call the Southern Illinois Soccer Middle School Program right now. We call it, refer to as a SIMS program. It will be in one of the handouts that we give you here in a few minutes. So in 2014, the SIMS program was formulated. Harrisburg was instrumental in helping helping to develop that program. Massac County has continued to support this league. The proposal we're making tonight is a zero budget item for the Board of Education. We're here to support you to give you data and just to educate you on what kids are seeking in this community, okay? So we renewed our discussions with Region 1, Region 2 recently through the parent group. And we've researched it further to find out if there's any new regulations from the state level and things of that nature. Basically, the power resides at the local level still yet today. There has been some revisions at the state level in the state of Kentucky, but basically it's eligibility and insurance. Make sure these kids are covered on insurance purposes. So what we're asking the board is a school-affiliated junior high team, okay? And we would like to go from a transition. We currently play in what we call the Sims League. We're going to show you geographical ranges and schools where they're located and things. We could have done a big presentation, but we wanted to keep it really quick, and we're trying to keep it as quick as we possibly can. We want to be able to sign kids up at the junior high. We want it to be recognized as a school sport or a club, and we want to move forward into 2018 to be playing in Region 1, District 1, and then at the end of that, they have what they call a little regional tournament. The 2 best teams from District 1, the 2 best teams from District 2 play a tournament format, and then they have a champion. Pretty much the season is done. I'm going to hand out handouts. Troy has really done a great job at revising and doing all these documents for us. And he'll go over each one of these documents that you'll have, okay? And I think I've got enough copies here to give the AD one also.
As Tim mentioned, I'm Troy Lawrence, the president of the Boosters Association. This is probably my 4th time being a president. So me and Tim's been involved 10 years now with the Booster Association, and we were founding members. But don't be intimidated by this packet. I'm not going to go over it in detail, but we've been talking about this for some time. So this information flowed real easy, and we want to get it on paper and get some things in case you had questions and had that information in front of you. The first document that we gave you is a kind of a Q&A type of document, and it kind of goes over some anticipated questions you may have concerning our proposal of what we want to do with the school. We've been doing junior high soccer since the fall of 2013, and they've been playing in the Sims League that we've been talking about since then. So this is, having a junior high team, managing it, organizing it, financing it is nothing new to us. We've been doing it and been doing it very successfully for a while now. But this Q&A document goes over stuff like questions you may have about uniforms, and this just shows that we've thought about things and we have some detail behind that. So I'm sure we'll have some time for some discussion, but this document may help with some of the questions you may have or formulate some questions. The next document I have that I just want to briefly go over is the location distances of the other middle school soccer teams in Western Kentucky, which is, as Tim mentioned, that's the Region 1, District 1 that we keep talking about. And those are school-affiliated teams, okay? You got a map there, but you can see the close proximity of these school-affiliated teams with Massac County. And we've been in touch with that board, with those coaches. And they all have looked forward to our entry and to their league, and are actually encouraging us to join them. But the Sims League that we keep talking about, Southern Illinois Middle School Soccer League, is all non-school affiliated programs. As previously mentioned, SIJHSAA, lots of letters right there, have not sanctioned Southern Illinois Soccer. And back in 2013, we had discussions with them. I spoke personally with a fellow named Greg Hale at the time. But basically his reply was that they weren't going to move forward with our petition, but that we could do anything that we chose because it wasn't sanctioned by that organization. And there are schools in the Metro East area that are already school affiliated that are playing. That's not part of that. And that's what we're kind of looking to do, maybe join Kentucky Region 1, District 1 with school-affiliated teams if we are school-affiliated. But the second page is the close proximity of all the schools there and what the mileage would be. So we just want to present that. The next document I have for you is, in your packet, is Kentucky Region 1, District 1 schedule for this year. So you can just kind of see what the teams are and how that schedule is laid out. The next document, we know that they're with our proposal, it's a pay-per-play proposal. You know, we've been registering kids, they've been paying to play with us. We would, our proposal would be the same for a school-based affiliation, if we're looking to do zero-based budget. But we know there's going to be low-income kids, and what we've done as far as with the youth program, which includes the junior high kids, we have a scholarship program, and that's the application for that. So we've been doing this formally for a year. There's criteria. So we have a way to serve the lower income kids, and we would expect the same would be for a school affiliation type of thing. So, but we've been doing that for a year. We've been doing it informally much longer than that. But that's the application process that the boosters do for low income kids. And the next thing I have is the SIM schedule, so you can see what it looks like. I know I got a lot of papers here, so you get a lot of details. Again, we've been talking about this for a while. But we want to get all that information for you. But that's the SIM schedule, what that looks like when the team's involved with that. Last I have for you is two last things. I have the participation numbers, so you can see our numbers that's been involved with our junior high program. Again, we've been doing this since the fall of 2013. Numbers have been good, and we expect with the school affiliation that the program would even step up to even higher numbers. The kids will be excited about the program and want to participate. Lastly, I have this is done through our board, but we have a budget just to show that we do the detail on the finances. Again, we do this every year, and so it's financed through our registration dues primarily, and we have our expenses laid out. So just, again, there's a lot of detail to all this, but we wanted to show that we're in the details and we have a plan and some ideas of how this could happen.
How many children are on the team?
Soccer's played, you got 11 on the field.
Okay, that's.
Okay, 11
I'm
on the
only
field.
used to the little kids.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's
And
what
the smaller kids will play and reduce the
Right.
numbers, okay? But 11 on the field, that's just same as high school. And the typical team number, and you need about 13, 14 to field a team. And we've been hitting those numbers ever since we've started. But you got to have some stuff. Soccer is an endurance type sport. You got to have some kids come in. And,
What you're proposing then, is this a girls team and a boys team?
yes, we play both girls and boys separate teams. Okay, not co-ed. We've separated from that long ago. We had enough numbers in both.
Right.
So yeah, we have.
And they all play in the junior high, they all play in the spring then?
Yes, it's a spring
High
season.
school is separated,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, the boys play in the fall and the girls play in the spring.
In high school.
Yeah, in
Junior
high school.
is
Junior
all
high,
day.
it'd be a spring-based league. That's how Kentucky Region 1, District 1 plays, and that's how Sims has been formed, playing the spring season.
Boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
And you said you're wanting to play in the Region 1 right now?
We-
Or you still want to do
Yeah,
Sim?
yeah. Let me explain that. We had to be school affiliated for the Kentucky schools to talk to us, okay? And they had their scheduling meeting in December. Obviously, we're in January now, so we've missed the 2017 window for that. So what we would like to do is go ahead and play in the Sims League, which we're still a member of, still be school affiliated, but that gives us the opportunity to go ahead and proceed with the Kentucky schools and with that discussion and go ahead and get that all formulated. Plus, it generates excitement for this upcoming season as far as, you know, hey, you're playing for your school now, and we're school affiliated.
Have you got any input from any of the administrators that you know of, like say the junior high principal?
We've had discussions with.
Have you had any
with
discussions?
She's
I
Laura
just-
Walker.
Miss Walker's right here.
Oh, where is she? Yes.
She's
Okay, I didn't see her.
We've got a couple of kids up here.
So, we've had discussions with her,
Okay.
and we had soccer moms talk to her, and she can speak for herself. But we've tried to reach out to as many people as we can. We've had a contact with Mr. Windhurst also, just to let him know what's going on,
Yeah.
type of thing. We're trying to let everybody know what's happening, so nobody's caught off guard here.
I have some questions. Okay, you want to play in the Sims League next year? But if
This
you-
year.
This spring.
Yes.
But next year, will you be able to play in the Kentucky League?
Correct. We would start the process. Right
To
now we
play
have,
in 2017,
yes,
and the reason being that those are all much closer.
yes. And they're school affiliated also is the other thing.
Okay.
That would be of interest for us to
Okay.
play. They have a mature league, and they've been, as Tim have pointed out, they've been playing quite some time soccer in Kentucky. Southern Illinois is kind of behind the rest of the world, okay, as far as soccer playing.
Okay, so you don't have to be school affiliated though to continue playing in Illinois. So you're
Correct.
actually asking to be school affiliated, not this year, but next year.
We're asking to be school affiliated this year
Right.
and play in the Sims League.
Okay,
Yeah, and that allows us to go ahead and start conversations with Kentucky Region 1, District 1,
okay.
and go ahead and get that ball rolling. We've already had extensive discussions with them already, and we've contacted all 7 schools in District 1, and they've all are encouraging our participation and will reciprocate games.
Polly, the bottom line for us is, what are you going to pay for and what will we have to pay
Okay.
for?
All right.
Because you know we are in some trouble.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we knew that, but we're calling it a zero-based budget proposal is what we're proposing.
Okay.
We've been financing this team through registration dues and through fundraising efforts all along. So we're going to play. We're going to fund this team regardless. So finances is not an issue with us. We do ask the board. There is a couple financial things that may be of impact. We ask to be included onto your insurance for the team, just like any other sports team, liability-wise. If a child gets hurt, if we get the school affiliation, so be included in your insurance umbrella. For 2018, we would ask to be included into your transportation contract, and that way we have the kids transported back and forth from the game, just
But
like
this
any other
year,
sport.
you're looking at no transportation costs.
We would do we would do the carpool.
Excuse me, you would be the Massac Junior High soccer team in a carpool? Yeah, that won't work with
Okay.
insurance.
Yeah.
Also, I need to say that if the board says we now have Massac Junior High soccer, and it goes under our insurance, that also goes under the collective bargaining agreement. We just don't hold off and determine what coaches get paid. That'll have to be bargained with the union because it becomes a union position.
Okay.
And also, under any circumstances, anybody working for the school district, who gets hired by a principal, not a committee. And I'd be more than happy, I hope there'd be a lot of cooperation there, but principals hire coaches, they're not just given to the school board. So there are a few things that would have to be worked out. I don't know what you're talking about paying these people, but it's gonna have to be, a soccer coach is gonna probably have to get what a basketball coach gets, a girls' basketball coach, and they're probably, $2,500, $3,000 stipends right now.
The average compensation for a junior high, middle school soccer in state Kentucky is $1,000.
First of all, and second of all, the union will have a say in this. We don't impose salaries. We have to collectively bargain the salaries that we pay our staff. And I doubt if they're gonna want that, I'm not gonna say that, I'm not gonna speak for them. But I've seen this happen before where people come in and they say, oh, we're gonna start this program volunteer, and that's good, but we find out very quickly that whoever gets hired by this district is under the collective bargaining agreement, and there are considerations that have to be made there. I'm just telling you this just to be aware. I know that we can't vote on anything tonight anyway, because it wasn't on the agenda for a vote, but these are realities that you'll have to be thinking about.
Okay. What are you anticipating, like in Southern Illinois? Any other junior highs that are thinking about,
Yes.
or that have a program, or thinking about starting a program?
All the,
Yeah.
and it's in your packet, those schools, the Sims leagues, the stated goal in the formation of those teams had all the stated goal of approaching their own particular school boards.
Sure.
So it was all all formed per school district was how these teams were organized. And with the state of go, hey, we're gonna play and prove that, you know, hey, this has got there's a hunger in Southern Illinois for these teams and for each individual. And every school district's under different stress and differences and different stages, but each program state to go is to do what we're doing right now with you guys and say, hey, you know, it's, you know, there's kids that want to play it and there's a hunger for it and we're doing it right now in our own fashion. The thing that we're at a disadvantage, and that's why one of the reasons we want it to be a school sport, knowing the kids want to play for their school and represent, there's something about that we just can't duplicate, and I got that in there. But, you know, we lose out, you know, as it probably should, you know, when we have a conflict with our soccer team to a school event, okay? The school event's going to win out, as it probably should. And that limits our, so we have kind of a ceiling of how far and how we can grow this as a kind of a recreational based league, you know. But if we get school affiliation and get that equal standing, now kids that's hungering to play this and are paying money to pay this, you know, now they don't have that conflict. Hey, you know, we're at equal level, and
that was one of the things I was going to say. We don't have a provision for pay for participation in the district for any sport. That would have to be a policy change to the board to charge kids to pay a sport that we sponsor.
Right. I think, you know, officially we do not, but unofficially, like my daughter plays 8th grade basketball. So we were required to purchase $25 warm-up jersey for her. You also have to have matching socks, $16 a pair. You can buy your own, but they have to be the same, so you pay that through the coach. So there's a lot of those sports that unofficially kids are paying to play.
Well, when I say
warm-up jerseys and
yeah, I'm really talking about money that comes back to the school district for paying for coaches and officials and lights and custodians and buses and everything. I'm talking about an actual fee. Hey, this is what you're going to pay because the board provides this, and an $85 flat fee sounds like you got to pay to play in the sport. And
sure.
I'm not saying it can't be done. It's done in a lot of places, and it's probably something to be considered for all sports here in the future. But it's just not in the structure's really not there to do that right now.
On the map that I'm looking at here, how many of these schools that are listed in gray in Southern Illinois, how many of those have school affiliations right now?
0.
Okay.
They have. There is some partial affiliation with Harrisburg. They are considered a club sport.
Any more questions at this time?
So the rest of them are just where you are.
They are where we're at.
Trying to become affiliated.
That's correct. And every one of them has the goal of doing what we're doing here today.
I truly feel that the more kids get involved in more things, less trouble later. And, you know, I don't know if y'all drive by there on Saturdays out there at the soccer field, but, you know, we're running everywhere. But, you know, there's a big gap between 6th grade and high school. And we're feeding, I know we're in a financial situation too, I understand that. But they've approached us at a pretty good time. We have time. We're not asking to do this in 2 weeks, you know. And if any way I can support it, I would. I'll say it right now.
Thank you.
Well, I can see there's no doubt there's a need. But as you all were here when we started high school, there was some, you know, parts had to get worked out, and, you know, and when you're kind of an Illinois school, you know, trying to work with a Kentucky league, I know there's going to be questions, and I know there's, you know, we're still part of the junior high association, and you know, so we know the need because I know there's many kids that, you know, that play.
I would like to say this ain't got nothing to do with soccer, but we do need to be very proud of our junior high school girls basketball team for what they're doing for the community right now. So throw that in there too, because these are all important to these kids.
Very important.
Huge. As, you know, as you mentioned, and, you know, it may come up tonight, but everyone knows there is, you know, some belt tightening that needs to be done somewhat in the district, and so all that has to be worked out, and I'm sure we'll come to a, you know, to some workable situation, but you know, we got a good start. At least we
Yes,
got something to
and-
start with,
and-
and we're talking.
Yes.
And it didn't cost anything, so
Yeah,
that's a
it's
good
not
thing.
costing anything, that's a
Not
big
costing
deal,
anything.
isn't it?
And there'll be no,
That's a plus.
no problem using the soccer complex. That's gonna be a
Yeah,
amicable arrangement,
oh, yes,
because
yes.
sometimes it's not always.
Yes, all our youth teams play there, and we have a relationship with the high school, you know, and during the junior high, our Sims junior high season, the girls' high school program has first priority on that field. But, you know, we play during the weekends for Sims, so we can avoid a lot of scheduling conflict and that kind of thing. If we go to Region 1, I help kind of formulate the design of that soccer complex. There's another additional full-size field on the east side of that high school field that we would make for junior high soccer, and we would purchase the goals to do that. So we have a plan for that, if it happens.
I'd like to see you know, get together with Mr. Smith or us again, and like he had the questions about what we're gonna do, we'll get together and see if we can't work these out, but you have my support on that.
We'll definitely work with you, whatever we have to do. Again, you know, we're into the details, and we've been doing this for a while, so it's, we've thought about this, a lot of this, you know, as you can kind of see,
Right.
and
Well, I hope no one came out expecting that we were gonna vote to say yes or anything on it, but I hope everybody leaves with the, you know,
Yeah.
a good feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Windhorst, so many people that go on that small bus with the district.
14, and then the drive. But in the spring, we have 6 sports at the high school, so it's in use almost every day. But we have 2 of them, so it'd be tough. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but it's something.
Well, you play most of the games on the weekend.
That's in the Sims League.
that's in the Sims League. If we go Kentucky Region 1, it'd be weekday type of thing, you would have some.
Too many different leagues.
Yeah,
Okay.
But in the Sims, you know, you're gonna start out in the Sims League first, right?
yeah, for 2017.
Right. And then we could actually use them on the weekends.
Well, we have transportation almost every Saturday. So on Sundays, I think they play on Sundays, but if it's a school event promoted, we could do that on board policy with Sundays.
Let us take a look at this, and call you back in maybe 10, and let's go down, and get this thing working.
Are most of your games on Sundays?
We play home games on Sundays. We do play kind of a Saturday, Sunday, and that's for the Sims League, because that's when referees are available, and that's when
All you
the,
gotta do is get the union to come in there and talk to us.
available.
We have a policy
You work with
against
us, won't you?
non-scholastic activity on Sundays. That's a board policy. That's another policy that would have to change.
Have to change. Yeah, so right now we don't do Sunday events.
But Kentucky Region 1 is all weekday.
all weekday, yeah.
And they
And
play,
this is a lot of the things I say, you know, that
both play
still have to come
back-to-back.
together, and there'd still be some more, you know, hours of discussion, but I think you presented the need.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think you presented the, that
Well,
there's
we're
definitely a need.
available for any questions, further discussions, and again, you know, we've been looking
I know
forward to
you've been
this
working- you've been
presentation for
working on
a
this
while,
for a while.
and try to find the right time to do it, and it's just been a push here lately that it's time to do it.
Well, you had a very good.
What's your deadline, you know, for us to try to work with, what's the deadline for registering with the Sims?
Sims will go forward, we're gonna be registering kids February 1st, so that's why we wanted to hit the January date, to have this discussion. We didn't know where it would go, okay, so it sounds to me, you know, we're not gonna be prepared enough to move forward with this, so we're gonna be going to Sims, to do what we've been doing,
Right.
all right?
I would.
But the sooner we can, if there's interest from this board to do this, we'll work with you. The sooner we're able to do it, the sooner we can start talking to Kentucky Region 1 and work out any of the fine details, whatever policy details we also have to work out. And sooner we have that, hey, we're gonna move that direction, we'll work with you.
So if you
We
had a
need to sit
commitment,
down with the union and school board and you all and take a look at what we have to and see what the union's willing to help us out with and make this thing work.
if you have a commitment from us for 2018, is that good enough to get into the league?
I would think so.
I mean, like if you operated this spring as you always have, but then you had a commitment from us for 2018, then that would allow you to get into the Kentucky
I
League.
think so. That will allow us to start the discussion in earnest.
Okay.
Can't we have a committee with us and them work this out together?
Well, that was my.
Can we, I'm gonna ask Donnie
Yeah.
and the superintendent, why can't, there's a few of us old people that are retired up here, and if we could form a committee and sit down with you guys, get this worked out sooner.
That would be
Why can't it be?
that would be my suggestion on,
I'll be glad
on
to
the
be-
best way to proceed with it. I think we can only have.
And then our involvement would actually begin 2018 spring,
uh,
well, fall, when they start
Well,
scheduling.
If,
Now, if we get things worked out, start now.
But we can only have a committee, can only have two. Okay, do a committee of three. You've got volunteer,
I'd like to serve.
okay, who
Volunteer.
else wants to serve?
I volunteer.
Okay,
I don't mind serving.
no,
I'll be it.
no.
I don't mind, if you don't want me, whoever wants to be on it's fine with me. I am supportive.
I don't care to serve.
Would the
You'll
union
serve, Bob,
work with us
you'll
on that?
serve?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yes, sir.
fine, I will, yeah, if you need me to, I will.
Yeah.
We need something somewhere.
Now, next question with this Sims, but like next year,
We
I'm
need-
looking, the mileage will drop down to 306 miles.
That's one of the reasons we're advocating, knowing there's, it's a mature soccer league, and they've been doing it for a while. But reduction in cost and time, and parents can get to games more easily than a Southern Illinois based schedule.
Okay.
Plus, they're school affiliated.
Yeah.
I think if we're school affiliated, you're gonna want that direction anyhow.
Okay.
I'm gonna appoint Bobette, Mark, and Larry to look with them, to work with them. And with, I would, the associate, you need to be involved to answer any,
Oh, don't worry, we'll bug him.
Questions.
We'll bug him.
and I think our junior high principal also needs to have input.
Yeah, she said.
There you go, we got
She's given us
we got
the
thumbs up,
Good.
all right.
And then
Uh,
put it there.
And what
And-
about, Teachers Association?
And then
Teachers Association.
Associations even have working, Mr. Lawrence, I know you're one, and,
yeah, you all need, how many, 2 or 3 people, if you all
Yeah,
want.
the three that presented are the
All right.
are the ones that the association represent.
sounds good to me.
Okay. You all work out your meeting
Let Kim second that.
times,
Okay.
and then we'll have discussion. I don't know whether it's gonna be a fast track thing, it may or may not, but
Understand. There was-
it looks like we're starting to progress, process, and, then when we get to the final figures, then we'll have better
Absolutely.
ideas of whether it's feasible for this year, or, or if it's not, I hope everybody understands. And if it is, then that's great, and if it's not until another year.
And again, February 1st, we're gonna be signing up kids, so,
I'm
if-
sure
if
nothing's
this-
gonna be done, but.
Yeah, so, we have to move forward because it's
Sure.
time to sign them up. So, we're gonna, unless there's a, big, the oceans spread apart or whatever type of thing, we're gonna proceed, and like we've always had.
And
what
like
we've
Mr.
been-
Smith said, the collective bargaining.
Oh, I know, there's a lot, see, there's a lot more, there's a lot comes into
Mr.
it.
Clark's gonna work with us on that.
Yeah.
Got something, Tim?
Yeah, I'm happy with this. We just want to come here and inform you guys and inform everybody here. There's a lot of kids at Massac County Junior High may not be able to sign up because of transportation issues. And we can't do these drives and try to get some of these kids to sign up for soccer because they see these obstacles. But in 2018, if we could get this accomplished, I think our numbers would even go up, and we would serve the general population at the junior high better. And that's what we're trying to accomplish.
And well, this would be a good opening, get together and see if we can get going.
And I think you all can get together and kind of come up with a better actual cost of what the program will all be, run through the school. You know.
Will our insurance increase, or will it be under an umbrella and it will not decrease?
I can't imagine that adding one sport would increase our insurance. The increase would be in probably more in transportation.
Right. Y'all get together and see if we
Okay.
can.
Y'all good?
And get Mr.
We're
Clyde.
Good deal.
Appreciate your time, appreciate your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you for your volunteering.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, thanks for all your
Labor of
work.
love.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right, next, anything from the NCEF you already tonight? Okay. Anyone else? We crowd here tonight.
We got anything for Brookport tonight?
There's something down there on the list. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's.
If you're here for soccer, you
You're
don't want to
here
hear
for
the rest
soccer,
of the
you
stuff,
don't-
you're welcome to leave, you
Yeah.
don't want to offend
You
anybody.
won't offend anybody. If you want to see everything else that goes on, enjoy the evening.
There we go. There we go.
Everyone but Mr. Elliott. Yes, please sit. He has to sit there.
Okay. Next, I'd like a motion under consent approval for the minutes of December the 19th, 2016, and January the 3rd, January the 7th, and January the 17th of 2017. All the bills that are due and payable in the treasurer's report. Need a motion for these, and I think then there might be some changes. We have a motion.
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All right, now any discussion?
Yes.
All right.
On January 3rd, under public comments, it's at 6 PM. With a motion by Rushing and a second by Summer. Mr. Summers' last name was misspelled and it's PM, not AM. January 7th at 8:35, it should be AM, not PM. So I do have some corrections, and then I do have a couple questions of Debbie on the treasurer's report. I noticed that we are over 50, I looked at the areas in which we're over 50% spending. I don't know what all, we don't have a detail as far as what all these were, but the 116% was capital improvements. I was concerned about the court fund, 95%, and the debt service, 59%. Is that something that's usually that much over already, or?
Some of these don't track with the year, like
Yeah,
halfway
that's
through the
what I
year, you
wanted.
get,
They will
some of
track
these things
at
are
the end of the
upfronted,
year.
all the bills are paid at the beginning of the year, and so forth.
And then June 30th, they will be where they are.
Okay. And same on the,
Generally, salaries and benefits should be somewhat tracking. I mean, if it's in the 40s to 60, that's one thing that would track with the calendar year. But like, for instance, supply budgets, usually people buy things they need for the year in the fall. So you're gonna see,
okay, that's what I
a lot of
was.
that's been in the fall for the whole year. And,
Yes. You don't have.
Well, the IMRF Social Security Fund, is that different than the fiscal year?
January through June
Okay.
30th. But, I mean, we still pay it continuously. But if you're looking at their year, for us, what are you talking about, the expenditures?
The financial report.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, All you have is activity for December.
Well, it says percentage used for the
Yeah.
16-17 budget year.
It's 80%.
I guess I'm not gonna get to talking.
IMRF is not a fund we could use for anything but
And
IMRF.
Social Security is totally restricted.
Right.
And, yeah, and it's what's Social Security called? What's OBM?
Commercial operation, building and maintenance.
No.
We call it the building fund.
And the tort fund, that's something else we
Legal,
can't
isn't it?
touch.
Well, that's for our legal stuff. You can, we have to use it.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as transferring it to another fund.
No, we can transfer into it, but we can't
Print
grant
her
out.
out.
Okay, I was just curious.
Okay, any other questions? You have, well, you have,
On the financial report, we were at 116.32% working cash fund. And on the capital improvement fund, we were at 95.35%.
So in your working cash, that has to be revenue, right? We don't spend any money out of there, so that means we got 16% more than what we thought we would get.
get in.
So basically what we're saying is we're over budget on what we thought we were gonna get. We thought we'd get so much, we got 16% more than what we thought we'd
Is
get.
that what it means? Because it says used.
Well, no, it's just because it's a revenue. No, we've got like we got more than what we thought we could get in working cash in our levies.
So we're not over.
No,
Using.
Okay.
no.
We're over income. That's a good thing.
But not over.
No.
in
Yeah.
debt.
No.
No,
No.
Not over in
Expense,
expense.
not expense,
Okay.
expenses.
However, and on the transportation fund, we've spent, does that say that we've used
106%.
of our?
This is what's your lines on this?
Yeah, you gotta watch your lines
Because
you're
it's
looking
not,
at
I never liked
debt
that.
services.
And debt service is 106%.
No, transportation is
It's only
30.56.
So it's about 31% of our,
Services, total for debt services is
Oh, I see.
Uh,
That's debt services.
I would encourage
This is our,
anyone with the board, if you have any,
Debt services.
if you have any questions like this, just get a hold of Debbie the day of, or the meeting the day before. She can usually answer them, pretty easy at the time. Pull up any information that you might need. Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second.
Took me a while, I had to follow my lines.
We have a motion and a second, that's correct? All right, roll call.
Ms. Grace? Yes. Mr. Pullen?
yes,
Ms. Rushy?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
And Mr. Cook?
Yes. Next on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Okay.
Okay, any questions on the enrollment report? Move through these quickly.
No?
Had something to
Okay.
I can't find mine, but I know that pre-K AM at Brookport continues, here it is, continues to be low.
It's kind of been that way all year, hasn't it?
Yes. Something I think we need to look at for next year.
Okay.
Unfortunately, sometimes
It
kids,
never gets to double digits.
parents, we don't provide transportation to pre-K, do we?
No.
No.
So parents have to drive them there, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't have transportation. And a lot of people don't wanna get up early.
Paying a teacher for, 5 children's
Okay.
something we need to keep our eye on.
9 children.
9.
Well,
Yeah,
9
yeah.
sometimes,
And the
but
PM was 18.
some days 5. many days, several days, 5, 6, 7. Occasionally it hits 9, but more often 5, 6, 7 than 9.
I've got 8, 9,
Okay.
9, 8, 9, 9, 9.
Any other
9,
questions on enrollment? Enrollment?
Before the board received a thank you from the Franklin Elementary staff for the Christmas luncheon.
And I will say that actually got the email for the MES one, and I did not bring it in or give it to you, I'm sorry.
There was one.
Oh, you got one for MES?
No, you're just saying there was a thank you
Yes,
for the.
I wanted to mention that.
That's the main thing.
Yes, I got a thank you for MES.
Okay.
They sent it to me since I was the one that went there.
Okay, now regarding the waiver status that was tabled last month, I'm still looking for evidence that, you know, the board was concerned that support staff members would not be able to take advantage of a waiver, and I have no progress to report on that. And then the board had requested a discussion on graduation seating practices, so, whatever. Somebody want to lead that, or?
Can I say one more thing about the waiver, because I did check into that? And primarily, it's a problem as far as athletics go, because IHSA, I think, speaks to that. Support staff's children cannot play athletics.
Where is that? I mean, I would really, do you know anything about that, Mr. Windhorst?
Not having dealt with the waiver, I haven't looked into details as far as support staff, as far as certified staff.
Well, I'd sure like to see that reference, because that's exactly what I'm looking for, so if you can find that and
Okay.
direct me to it, I'd sure like to see it.
Okay. First discussion on graduation seating.
I think it was brought up, that before the doors are open up, over half the seats were taken, and some of the graduating parents were having to sit way up or whatever. And we were gonna talk about who we was gonna allow in per opening doors and who we wasn't gonna allow in.
I don't think it was that half the seats were full. I think there was a large number of attendees already inside.
Okay.
While grandparents and stuff had waited at the front door, which were not open. And is there a consistency to it is what we're asking?
What's the practice on it, Jason? How's it been done?
Yeah, I'm sure whoever has a key can get in. I'm usually in the office with the school board members, letting some of them in.
Yeah.
So I've never really been in there. We do not have anyone paid to work the doors. We just unlock the doors an hour before. It's probably more of a concern now that we're doing it in the evening of a school day than when it was on a weekend, because there are people in and out, so there's no telling how many people could be in and out between 3 and 6, you know, because there's always a door open, so.
Okay.
Something we could probably look at.
Got any kind of anything we can look at?
Yeah.
Kind of
This is the
recommendation?
first time I knew that was a concern, so I didn't know to think about anything. We could certainly look at doing some things differently. We do have the ability to lock some of the doors that go into the gym. We did not have the ability to last year because of the mechanisms were broken from the locker rooms, and so.
I don't know how this would work, the school I came from, and I realized much smaller in here. The school where I taught, each graduate got 2 tickets to sit in a certain area.
We
And
did
for
that
the-
once.
And did that work?
It was a disaster.
Was it? Okay, well, it worked well up there.
Because some people wanted to bring 10 people, some people wanted 15.
Well, you have two seats.
No, I know, but it
Let's
just,
say 10,
you'd have to have a police officer standing there because, you know, you can tell people they can't come in without a ticket, but unless you're going, I mean, who's going to stop them? That's what we ran into last time.
Oh, well.
They stopped doing, every graduate had 5 tickets actually, when they did that last time.
I remember when they did that.
Well, this was just to sit in a certain section.
Well, I mean, it has to be a consistent time. You can't open T-door at 2 o'clock and you open up the front doors at 4. You know,
That didn't happen.
No, but I'm just saying, that's
Yeah,
an
I mean,
example.
I'm sure, you know, we have a lot of staff members that have keys, we have coaches that have keys. I'm sure there were people in there. I doubt it was over half, but I'm sure there were people in there.
I've been coming to graduations out there for, I don't know, a lot of years, and always got there early, and, you know, there's probably been times there's been maybe 15 or 20 people in there, but there was a whole lot of extra seats around, you know, so.
Well,
We,
You know,
The last 10 years, we've never been able to accommodate how many people want to attend. I mean, that's a fact. And there's always people out in the hall, you know.
Always.
And we've talked about, we've streamed it over to the cafeteria a couple years, but people still stood in the hallway rather than going over there to watch, so I quit doing that. But we simply do not have a facility that's large enough, so there's always going to be people without seats or people in bad seats.
look at it, see if we can come up with something kind of consistent and
Yeah, we can definitely
work on it.
try something different.
Try something different. Yeah. Okay. All right,
next would be the Bulls building update. You know, we started this whole process last summer, talking about $28,000, which actually came from the architects.
and it just kept growing.
Right now, it looks like whatever money we have put into it already from our people doing work, plus about $78,000 to get that building accessible, life safety accessible. I know, this was a shock email to me, and I don't know what to do with it. We're certainly in for a penny, and this is the pound.
Yeah. Wonder what it's caused of, you know, the estimates to, you know, escalate more, or were they just more figured in, or, you know, do we really know, Jason?
I asked Mr. Smith if we could look at that a little bit further, just to see, because that came out of nowhere. And I know, there's only two things left that I know of on the list, and that's hooking the fire alarm to our central control unit in the office, which will require trenching or something, you know.
Boring or doing something?
Yeah, and then they have to install a new door. There's not enough exits for the square footage that's in there.
Just a new door outside?
Well,
They're talking about a wireless remote hookup now to the fire alarm.
Okay, well,
So I
I'd
don't
like
know
to
what
get,
this $37,000.
I'd like to get some more information from personally.
All right.
Has this went out to bids to local contractors for what they're talking about for getting prices?
These are
the bid prices.
These are the bids from contractors. I recognize both the names, they're not.
I just,
They local?
Galloway's not, and R&R, I don't think that is unless it's some.
Do they have to be registered with our architect before they're given, or are they put out are they put out?
They're put out in what they call the construction room, right? It's some place where they go
Yeah,
to. Everybody who's licensed can bid on it.
Oh,
and-
contract, these are, I think they're both union, union contractors. Want to table this?
I'd make a motion, if you want to form a motion, yes, table until he gets more information.
I agree.
I ain't gonna spend it.
It's a lot of money, but it's a shame to have that building and not be able
They
to
would
use
use
it,
it
so.
for
But
potential.
that is an awful lot of money, and I bet you could get some more
It
information.
just kept,
you know.
seemed like it just kept
Kept
getting more
growing.
growing.
I don't.
Was the building originally built to not house students? It was just to be used as a practice
Yes,
gym?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But like I said, Jason said, all we're lacking right now is the doors and the alarm system
yeah, I
on that
believe we've
list.
got almost everything else fixed or up to code.
Code, yeah. And you all, you know, the maintenance staff did a lot of that.
And Frank did most of it.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I think we could have our,
We need,
take a look at it and see if we
No,
need
you
to
don't really do, you
just
just, just you got it in the minute.
the notification fire alarm system like they was talking about, wireless.
Transportation?
That would be the fire company.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
mean, I
I'd
certainly
try.
don't mind to
I'll
look
let
at it,
try.
but yeah, that's definitely not me, so.
Yeah, that's, and that gets that
Well,
gets,
let's try.
that's complicated. Yeah. Okay.
So I wanted to tell you that for transportation, that's one of the forms of state aid that we get. We had budgeted actually at around $560,000. We thought we pay for our transportation through local taxes and through state aid. And the state has just let us know that they are prorating our $560,000 at 71%. So there's going to be a loss of well over $100,000 that we will not get from the state this year for transportation, and that will be made up by taking state aid out of the education fund. It's the only place really we have to go to get it. So I wanted to let you know about the proration of funds for transportation.
How much, they've been prorating it for the last, downward. the last few years, haven't they? We've been getting
It,
less, but.
that seems a little bit less than what it has been, around 76, hasn't it, Debbie, or something? I don't think it's ever been below 71.
Oh,
has it?
no, it's never been, this is the lowest it's ever been that I can remember.
So every time you see them on TV saying, we are fully funding state aid this year for the education fund, this is where they're getting the money. This is where they're getting the money, right here. They're taking it out of other places and cutting us in other places, but they take pride in giving us all of our money in one fund, but they're taking it from other funds to supply that fund.
Until
So,
you put it in these other funds where you need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glad to see Fire Chief Morris back there is gonna share with this fiasco that we have here with these door safety devices. Evidently, the Channel 6 did a news story, and somebody sent the news story to Springfield, and Springfield called the state fire marshal in Marion and said those devices are illegal, probably somebody who owns a different device. And so Mr. Donkin sent me a letter or an email that said this has to be fixed before the spring life safety visit. And he said, have your fire department talk to the fire marshal and get this worked out. And I said, no problem. Well, the fire marshal's not going to relent a bit on it. And he says he will not clear these safety devices that we've put in well over 100. I think we've got 3 buildings done. And so now I don't know where we are on this. There's a long list of schools in the state that have this device, and I don't know where this is going to blow up. Carterville just did every one of their buildings over the Christmas vacation with this very device. And I told that to Mr. Donkin today. I said, if you're going after us, you're going to have to go after them. And he said, oh, great. He didn't know they had put him in. So is that fair?
That's the way we understand it.
Chief Morris, I don't know what to say other than this.
Contact our legislators.
Well, I'm not suggesting right now we go out and start pulling these things out. I'd like to see where this is going to start landing. With this many school districts, I mean, Murfreesboro has them now. And if it starts with us, I don't know if they're going to go to 30 school districts in the state of Illinois and say, remove these things. So I suppose we probably ought to put a halt to the installation until we
Wait it out.
give this a month and see what happens, and I'll report back to you. But it's kind of a mess. So.
What is actually supposed to be that they.
Well, the issue was that an intruder could get in the room and put the door lock in, and you wouldn't be able to get into the intruder. But in fact, each principal has a device that they can reach in there and pop that thing open. So we do have access to the room, even if somebody inside has the door locked or has this device in there. But actually, Chief Morris told me that it's a double process, a double step to get into the room, and that's what they don't like or something. I don't know.
Yeah, in order to meet the code, it's the same code that state comes in for your old code, it's the life safety code. A door can only be opened with one motion, without any special knowledge, any special skills, any special tools. A long time ago, we had an issue with some of the schools here in town. We had double panic bars. If anybody's been around long enough to remember those, that was an issue. So that was their one. The way we understand it, correct? It's
Yeah, that's the only single
issue
point that they've made is
because it doesn't meet.
operations.
Now the fire marshal's office is advisory in nature. They don't have any weight over the State Board of Education because you have your own inspectors. You know, my personal feeling is the fire chief of the metropolis. It's not an issue until you have to actually use it. It's not causing the door to be locked at any time until you actually have to engage the lock. At that point in time,
And that's done from the inside.
that's done, correct, it's done from the inside. If for some reason they're in place and a student goes ha 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 and locks the teacher out of the classroom, the principals have a way to bypass that. We have a way to bypass that at the fire department. The police department have a way to bypass that. Okay? If a bad guy does the same thing, yes, we can bypass that. You know, so the only time it's really a violation of the code is if it's in use during an active shooter situation. And like I said, my personal opinion on that is that I'd rather save the kids at that point in time than worry about the fire code. That's just my personal
And
opinion.
whoever says, heck with the code, we're going to go ahead and do it, just buys a lot of liability if something happens.
You know,
And so,
it's-
and
nobody
knows.
wants to take the.
So my only suggestion at this point is just let's see where this thing lands, because this company has to be, they have to get on this. I mean, they want to sell these to every school in the state of Illinois, and they have to be the ones pushing the fire marshal to.
And I spoke with a bunch of the school districts listed on the sheet that purchased this exact device. Their ROEs approved them. The fire marshals that came through on the ROE inspection visit approved them. They understand what the device is for, and they're moving on.
If you have a list of ROEs that have approved, I'd like to provide that to Mr. Dahl.
Sure do.
I don't know, I didn't know about the ROEs that have already approved.
Yeah, I know specifically DuPage County ROE, they've approved it. Tazewell County, Will County, Winnebago County,
That's all the way up
some in
there.
Cook County.
All the Collar
We
counties
can
around
text
Chicago.
you. If you can text that to me, and I'll just forward that on again.
Okay.
And by the way, all appreciation, all the work you've put into this thing.
Yeah.
But I told Chief Morris today, you know, this is the typical example of no good deed goes unpunished.
I said the exact same thing to my wife tonight. So like the code on Illinois, the fire marshal uses is the 2000 code. The current revision of the NFPA code is the 15 model, and these devices are addressed in that code, and they're approved within that code.
In the 15 model.
In the 2015 edition of the Life Safety Code, these specific devices, they're approved.
Is the fire marshal in Marion sympathetic to our viewpoint, and, oh geez, I'm real sorry, guys, I wish I could do this, or is there something more political behind this than we know of?
Who is the fire chief of Marion?
I think he's just,
Fire
the
marshal.
Illinois State Fire Marshal says we use the 2000 code, and that's what he's using. That's it.
Vern Ford.
Yeah, Vern Ford.
Vern Ford.
He's the inspector out of the Marion office.
Okay.
And really, if he has a code and he says, that's his job to follow the code. I mean,
That's the big problem, is the state has not updated their code. They're still working on
So
2000.
everybody's responsible and nobody's responsible, and meanwhile, we just sit here in this current situation, so.
I know the Carterville superintendent said, bring it on. I'm not taking them out. Those are his words. If Duncan wants a fight, he'll have one.
Well, we'll see if he says that in Dogton.
Yeah.
I'd like to sit for 30 days and watch that fight and see what
Yeah.
happens, because really, in the end, while Mr. Dawkins is not in a supervisory role in a direct way over the school, if they withhold our life safety approval, that is a big problem for us. And so, I'm not gonna, I certainly wouldn't look at Mr. Dawkins and say, I'm taking you on. I don't wanna take on somebody at that level. As he sees this on Facebook, because he sees me say, hey, Matt, you know, no problem. So,
I'm sure to get, answers will be,
and let's just,
addressed.
what I'd like to do right now is just wait 30 days to see where this all plays, because this is gonna come to a head very quickly, because I've heard that, actually I checked after I talked to you today, Chief, and Carterville they're gonna draw a line on this thing, and I'd like to see what that means. You know, if they want to do that, let's let them do that, and because however they end up is how we're going to end up. If they win, we'll win. If they lose, we're going to lose. So just, if they want to take the lead, let's see what happens.
I'll
Okay
send
with the
it
board?
to the ROE to you.
Yeah, send that. You got anything?
I do. I wanted to tell you that I wanted to pass out this. We just got. You all know that there's the school district subscribes to this Forecast 5 group, and they do financial projections from the district. We've talked about these for quite a while, and we got one today going through FY 2022. And I wanted to show you, there's a lot of these to pass out, and Cindy's on out into the audience, if you would please. I made a lot of extras. So I just kind of wanted to show you, I'll give you a minute to look at it, and I'll wait until some of those get out there. Okay, so the most important thing that we have talked about would be the 17-18 school year, which we call FY 2018, and I highlighted that there. And they are projecting that we essentially will need to borrow $2 million to break even for next year. And that is based on the assumptions that you see there. You can see the revenue is divided into local, state, federal, and other. And all expenditures are divided into salary and benefits, which is the lion's share of any of these, and then other. A couple of things that are not built into here in assumptions is under local, they're talking about a tax freeze. Now, we basically are under PTEL, which is the Property Tax Limitation Act, which limits us to the Consumer Price Index anyway. So we've been under tax caps for a long time. But every school district that is not under tax caps would go under tax caps. And not only that, we're not talking about tax caps like we've got it. We wouldn't even get the CPI. We're talking about a true freeze with the exception of a new EAD. So that could affect and lower that local revenue just a little bit. State revenue, I just found out last week our transportation was prorated at 71%. I don't know what to expect out of them. So again, we're just kind of bumping it at 3.73% right there for next year, but we don't know that to be true. And also under salary and benefit cost, notice that we've assumed an increase of 3.45%. I put 3.5, but I was kind of averaging, looking out into the future of what we think the salary and benefit costs could be. So anyway, the forecast by folks are saying we're going to go under by $2 million next year.
Is this the same one used to be
The same folks.
PMA.
PMA, yeah. I call it Forecast 5, but it's the same
Same one
thing.
used to be, PMA. Okay. Well, that's,
Well, if you recall, last fall, we shot a 1.8.
Yeah.
And if you take that 3.45% off of the salary and benefits, that's right at 1.8. I mean, we were dead on with that number last fall. Yeah. And that's taking a big gulp and solving the whole thing in one swoop. Boom, this is it, this solves the problem. And we go zero-based budgeting from there, and you never have the problem again. That's the ultimate solution. Big gulp.
that's more than 5% savings, nearly 10. Okay, yeah, that's a big.
But it's what we said last fall. It's right on that. We bingoed the number, and
Got to figure out how to get it done now.
Yeah,
What it
that
takes
is
to do
the-
that. Yeah, that's okay. What else you have?
that's all I got.
That's all you got. That's quite a way.
That last one was enough.
Quite a way to finish out your report. Gosh.
Okay, I want to say, I didn't mean, I started thinking I was sounding harsh to the junior high group with the soccer. I'm not against junior high soccer. I mean, there are realities to starting a program that are,
Has to be.
yeah, they're kind of conking ahead. I mean, it looks like, oh yeah, let's just start this, but I mean, immediately I started thinking, oh, well, wait a minute, this, wait a minute, this, wait a minute, this, and I came out with every reason why we shouldn't do it, and I don't mean to sound like I think anything negative about the program at all. I'm just saying those are significant hurdles that must be, like,
Well, there's the stuff that we need to know.
like for instance, we can't put our kids in a carpool once they're the junior high soccer team. They cannot go in a carpool. That's and when you're talking about this spring already to get involved, those kids have to go on buses. I mean, that's not even negotiable.
Right.
So those kinds of things. But I didn't want anybody to think I was trying to, be anything other than here's the reality of this request. So,
Okay.
Special ed director doesn't have a report this evening.
Okay, I see there's no unfinished business. Under new business, we have the first reading on 7 policies.
Yeah,
there's no action to be taken on them. I think these are all in.
This is first reading.
Everyone's packet to look at.
If you have specific questions about what has changed in them, I know them very well right now because I've been working on them. Next month, I'm just going to turn these around and put them in the packet, and I'll remember less next month. So if you have any questions about it, I basically write notes on the first month, and then the second month, those notes will be incorporated into the actual policy that you approve, so.
No further questions on that? Okay. 7.2, it says by resolution, the Board of Education acknowledges the transfer of the old Central School site, all of Block 119 in Metropolis to
Belgium.
Is this a Beecham LLC of 950 Lakewood Drive in Paducah, Kentucky, for the growth proceeds, amount of $85,000. This transfer is dated the closing of May 12th, 2016.
Yeah, this is something the board asked for to get in the written
Yes,
record.
right.
I'll make the resolution.
Motion to approve the resolution. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
Also.
Second. A motion and second, any other discussion? Please, roll call.
Ms. Grace,
Yes.
Mr. Pullen,
Yes.
Ms. Rushing,
Yes.
Mr. Summer,
Yes.
Mr. Souders,
Yes.
Ms. Steele,
Yes.
Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Okay, now that primary building, the Head Start people have access to a lot of money, but they can't spend it until they own the building, but they think they can start accessing a little bit of it as we do their repairs, but their corporate office, or whatever they call it in Chicago, is saying, how do we really know this Board of Education, is gonna give us this building? Because really, there's nothing in writing. And she wanted a letter from me, and I said, better than that, what if the board just passes a resolution that says, we're gonna give you this building when we get done paying for our tornado damage? And she said this would even be better. So if the board doesn't mind, it's been your intent for the last year to get that building to them. So if you'll just put it in a resolution, then that will help them access some money.
Let me read it. It says, by resolution, the Board of Education acknowledges its full and complete intention to transfer the building known as a primary school of 416 East 9th Street, Metropolis, Illinois, to the Head Start once the tornado damage repairs are completed.
Is
You have a motion?
I'll second it.
Have a second. Thank you. Any other discussion? Please roll call.
Ms. Grace,
Yes.
Mr. Pullen,
Yes.
Ms. Rushing,
Yes.
Mr. Summer,
Yes.
Mr. Souders,
Yes.
Ms. Steele,
Yes.
Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Now, the real estate donation agreement just came in today, and I printed it and filled in all the pertinent information. And so, this is with recitals and agreements and conveyance of property and all this, but all this has been done by our attorney, so you should assume that it's all been done properly to give the
Old Brookport.
old Brookport gym to the Brookport Betterment Committee. The donee were the donors. You guys are donees. I guess you didn't know that, did you? So if the board will, without getting a copy of this in advance, trust that our attorney has done this right, I'm sure that she has, we'll pass this agreement, and then all we have to do is get things filed with the county clerk, probably send Lisa over to do that tomorrow, and Joran, and have fun. You got basketball this weekend, I hear.
Starts Saturday.
Okay. It's been nice doing business with you. Have the building. Don't bring it back to us again. Okay, we don't want to see it.
Come back and see it. If I live through it, we'll be good, okay?
Does anybody out there have signatory authority tonight for the Brookport Betterment Committee? Okay, so somebody come forward when the meeting's over, and we will both sign these things, and then we'll get them filed.
Okay, so we need a motion.
Motion to approve the
Yes.
donation of, however you want to
I'll
call
make
it.
that motion.
And I'll second.
Yeah, got to say
All right, you get down, you get this motion
Let
down.
him make it.
No, you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to transfer the old Brookport gym to the Brookport Betterment Committee.
Ms. Grace?
Yes.
Mr. Pullen?
Yes.
Ms. Rushing?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
yes.
And Mr. Cook?
Yes, and Rance, I know it's been a lot of effort on your part and several of you, but, I think you all done a lot of work there, and it looks good, and, so
Thank you.
be an
Thank you,
asset
guys.
for,
Is there a grand opening, or are you gonna do anything?
You know, we want to put together something like a grand opening, but we've been working so hard trying to get the youth league in it, and we've got people, making sure we run down this path so we can work over on this other side.
I would like to come and be honored for all my work I've done.
Hey, we can do that, we can do that. So tomorrow I'm gonna take a vacation day and work on the cafeteria floor, okay? So if you come tomorrow, come in the back door, will you?
Just let me know sometime when you're having a fundraiser and food and, you know, I like to come to
We
them.
do plan on doing that.
Good deal, good deal. All right, next is action from the executive session. Approval of the executive session minutes. You all look over all these, I think,
All fixed.
Did we have them fixed? Did we get the correction?
did we get the corrections made, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, just with
With
corrections.
corrections.
That's, and we'll get the corrections in the one that goes into the board book.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve these?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second,
I'll
please?
second that.
Any other discussion? Lisa, roll call.
Ms. Grace?
Yes.
Mr. Pullen? Ms. Rushing?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes. Next, under personnel, we have resignations, new employment, and transfers. All right. First of all, we have two resignations. Cody Russell as girls soccer assistant coach, and Monica Thompson as a special ed aide at Brookport. Need a motion to accept these resignations.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you,
I'll second.
thank you. Any other discussion? Lisa, roll call.
Ms. Grace?
Yes.
Mr. Pullen?
Yes.
Ms. Rushing?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes. Okay. Next, under new employment, let me get this all straight here so I don't forget any. The first is the recommendation for the position of head softball coach at the high school. NCHS softball coach, head position. Recommendation is Tyson Borman. Do we have a motion to accept this recommendation?
I'll move that we accept it.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to second. Any other discussion? Lisa, roll call.
Ms. Grace?
Yes.
Mr. Pullen?
Yes.
Ms. Rushing?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes. And also, I just want to make note that Molly Hargrove will be volunteering as an assistant coach. I think she is PE teacher at the high school, first year out there, and would like to get some experience in coaching. She played softball, I think, before. Is that correct? So she will be volunteering as an assistant. Okay, next is the MCHS assistant baseball coaching position. We have two openings, two recommendations. We'll take the first one first. Recommendation for one of the positions is Chad Burnett for a MCHS assistant baseball coach. Do we have a motion to accept this recommendation?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion to second. Do we have any other discussion? Lisa, roll call.
Ms. Grace?
No.
Mr. Pullen?
Yes.
Ms. Rushing?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes. The next for the assistant coach, the recommendation is Andrew Morrow for the assistant baseball coach. Do we have a motion to accept this
I'll make that motion.
recommendation? Thank you. Do we have a second? Second. Any other discussion? Lisa, roll call.
Ms. Grace?
Yes.
Mr. Pullen?
Yes.
Ms. Rushing?
Yes.
Mr. Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes. Next is MCHS Assistant Boys Track Coach. The recommendation is Greg Clemens, I'm sorry, Greg Clemens. Do we have a motion to accept this recommendation?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. We have a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Lisa?
Ms. Grace?
Yes.
Mr. Pullen?
Yes.
Ms. Rushing?
Yes.
Mr. Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes, I'm sorry. Next, we have, I believe, one transfer. Kenny Bramer is from high school custodian to Brookport custodian. That doesn't have to be, that's just for clarification. And the last, we have a couple maternity leaves. One is Jenny Bergman, and the other is Ariel Ford. Need a motion to accept these requests for maternity leave.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? If not, Lisa, roll call.
Ms. Grace?
Yes.
Mr. Pullen?
Yes.
Ms. Rushing?
Yes.
Mr. Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes. Been a lot going on tonight. Any other things need to come before the board? If not, Larry,
Adjourn.
need a motion to adjourn. Thank you. Second,
Second.
Lisa, roll call.
Ms. Grace?
Yes.
Mr. Pullen?
Yes.
Ms. Rushing?
Yes.
Mr. Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
And Mr. Cook?
Yes. Thank you all for